The codes and conventions of a horror create the audience to feel frightened or panicked in an entertaining manner. This is shown by an easy recognisable plot shown in The Descent, where a group of women adventure down into a dark hole where monsters are expected to lurk. Furthermore, allowing the audience to feel emotions of fear, horror and terror, which can be shown in Nightmare on Elm Street. Other conventions of a horror are themes including death and mental illness, shown in Saw. Also, a supernatural element may occur like ghosts. A horror film cannot exist without a central villain, perfectly demonstrated in Saw. Saw also portrays a large amount of blood, killing and death, whilst Mirrors demonstrates the haunted house and the isolated setting.
The icons of a horror are included in every horror film to make the audience feel as though the setting of the film has a history or can create an atmosphere of no civilization. One icon of a horror is a haunted house, which is shown clearly to scare the audience in Mirrors. Another icon is symbols of death. They can include a Ouija board or a sign of the devil. An example could be in Paranormal Activity when they use the Ouija board to try and communicate with the ghost. Symbols of death and the screaming victim run throughout a horror film, such as all the Saw films. A disfigured face or mask gives the sense of fear. Fear is created when the villain has a phallic murder weapon, as it gives out the impression of rape, as the victim will be stabbed by the weapon. Such as in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the villain carries around a chainsaw, but the murder weapons could also be a knife, a pole, a stake. Another icon of horror are dark places where monsters lurk, demonstrated in The Descent. Binary opposites shown when the villain and victim are physically close or frightened.
The settings of the film are very important, as they give the effect that the situation could happen to us. This is demonstrated in Insidious, as it is an everyday setting. In a horror movie, there are two main characters, a protagonist and an antagonist. A stereotypical protagonist is an attractive blonde woman who portrays herself as virginal and innocent, clearly shown in Cabin in the Woods. However, a stereotypical antagonist is a villain who is sexually repressed and evil, clearly demonstrated in Saw. When the antagonist and protagonist are together, this creates a binary opposite. Narrative devices are there to cause dread and alarm depending on who they are or what they are doing. In some cases, there is a hero or false hero who tries to save the victim, shown here in the Cabin in the Woods. The villain is the one who sets out to cause the damage and destruction. Finally, the donor is the one who has something special that will help the hero, shown in Cabin in the Woods.
The visual structure of a horror movie is kept the same throughout the different subcultures, e.g. teen, slasher, body and psychological horrors. For example, there are always shadows created by low lighting, which makes the audience to feel terror because of the unknown, shown perfectly in REC. There are many different camera shots, e.g. point of views, angles, quick dramatic zooms, as seen in REC. This creates suspense.
There are many different themes which reoccur throughout a horror genre. For example, nightmares, vulnerability, loss of identity, fear of sexuality, and terror of the unknown, shown in Nightmare on Elm Street. These all concentrate on the dark side of life and focuses on the fluctuating boundaries of taboo. However, these are all created so another world can be opened up without being in danger yourself.
Sound is used within horrors so the audience can predict something bad will happen. Fast-paced music is for tense or action scenes, shown here in Cabin in the Woods.
You're missing the point.
Use of beat is common as it represents a beat of a drum or a heart, here demonstrated in Nightmare on Elm Street. A piano or organ music creates a spooky feel, whether it is fast or slow, it does not matter, shown here in Insidious.